Welcome everyone. Good to see you here again. We're gonna continue our conversation from last week with beautiful and very knowledgeable Patricia Bowen, who is a health activist, revolutionist, and she is, as I said, box of knowledge about bread and everything related to the topic. So I will let her to recap what we were talking last week and what the secret we have to share today.
Thank you, Rosa. Very nice to see you again, and hello, everyone. So last week we did talk about how bread is milled differently now than it was for thousands of years. And we also looked at the fermentation process, which was used for thousands of years, and how that's changed now, which has changed the digestibility of bread and why it's getting such a bad rap. So today we're going to look at some of the ingredients used in bread now and other factors that are making wheat not so good for us.
Yeah, exactly. Not really good. And it's gonna be any difference between commercial and homemade?
There's a big difference between commercial and homemade bread. Some of the ingredients in commercial bread, and maybe you'll enjoy reading the labels on bread now when you go to the market next time, but you'll find wheat flour. It oftentimes doesn't say whether it's wholemeal, whole grain, or it'll just say brown or white sometimes. But you'll notice that they add, for instance, one that I was looking at recently, added calcium, iron, niacin, and thiamine. So now calcium. So first of all, why do they add those in there? And then are they synthetic? Probably, because they have to be cheap, don't they? So adding calcium, what type of calcium? There are many different forms of calcium. Of course, we think, ooh, calcium, good for my bones. Well, it might not be bioavailable, so that your bones don't benefit at all. I know a few years ago, calcium supplements were made from coral. So it's depleting the coral reefs. But the molecular size of that calcium was so large, it was causing heart problems for people. It was, as the blood passed through the heart, that calcium molecule was causing serious problems. And then we have yeast. Well, of course, it's not a natural yeast. It's a synthetic yeast with a very long shelf life. Rapeseed oil was added to this particular bread, ordinary sandwich bread. Now, rapeseed oil, I love rapeseed oil, but I insist on organic. And the reason being, rapeseed gets doused with glyphosate. And last year, I'm surrounded by beautiful rapeseed fields. And last year, I pulled over, found a place where I could pull my car in, get out of the car, and walk around amongst those rape seeds. Absolutely stunning. But the silence was deafening. There was not a bee to be found, Rosa. Not one single bee. And I drove about 10 minutes to a very well-known English heritage manor house with beautiful gardens, walked amongst the gardens, and the bees were deafening. Big fat ones, little skinny ones, they were busy as anything, all over the flowers. What was the difference? Glyphosate or no glyphosate? So consider that. Now, also, soya flour was in this bread. Now, soya, no mention of it being non-GMO, which soya is highly genetically modified, but also Western diets aren't accustomed to soya, and it's a known endocrine disruptor. So it's a little bit deceiving there. And then there were further preservatives of E numbers, and then flour treatments, but it didn't say what those flour treatments were. And then they threw in a little vitamin C. You're like, oh, that looks good.
That looks good because everyone knows of vitamin C. But that got me to the question. Sometimes I have that bloating experience. And I would like to ask, because I know that will affect those ingredients will affect digestion. What is your experience, and what you can tell us about digestive issue? Because so many people I know have a digestion issue with bread.
Well, that's right. Well, part of that bloating could be the glyphosate, because it's a known toxin. It destroys the gut wall, and I think it probably a little revolt going on inside your gastrointestinal tract. But also, then those synthetics. So when something's bioavailable, your body recognizes it and it knows exactly what to do with it.
Yeah.
The synthetic, there's a bit of head scratching going on. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Do we need to get rid of this rapidly? Can we break it down and utilize it? And I think that causes a lot of that, the bloating. And then the commercial bread digests in a quick half an hour. So there's nothing for your body to really feed on. There are no nutrients to extract. Whereas beautiful whole grain, digesting, it takes a couple of hours because your body's busy pulling out all those nutrients and it knows what to do with them, and it's lovely. So if you're having those sort of gut reactions, I would say switch to organic sourdough. I have several friends that are gluten intolerant, celiac, Crohn's disease, that can eat and enjoy organic long fermented sourdough bread. It must be a long ferment to really break down the gluten and the fibers. Well, try that and let me know how you get on.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. See, I told you, she knows a lot about the bread. And I know we have a guest as well today, and I would like to introduce our special guest. Can we take it to the table, please?
Yes, we can. Now, I read that list of ingredients in commercially prepared bread. Look at this little beauty. All this is flour and water and salt. It's all this is. Well, I added the seeds on the outside, as you can see. And the commercial bread, it has a lot of those treatments and things to make bread uniform so they all look the same. Well, this, I think, is a work of art.
Of course, and looks delicious. And
I couldn't make it look like that again, but here's another one. This one has nettle leaves on it.
Oh.
And again, it's different, but it's still flour, water, and salt. Another one still. So it's a very satisfying experience. And again, that it's not going to go off, so that you don't need to put all sorts of preservatives in it.
And will stay longer, isn't it? Even don't have those whole list of ingredients inside. It will stay longer, fresh, and will keep the tastefulness.
It doesn't go moldy, but it doesn't last terribly long, because you can eat all you want. You can eat all you want, not gain weight. If you're gaining weight, then don't put so much cheese or butter or whatever you're putting on it. That's the problem.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank you as well to all of you who are watching that. And please come back to us with questions. If you would like to know specifically what to do, how to do it, I know Patricia can help, and she will do some extra demonstration for us next week. So make sure you come back and watch us again. And for now, stay awesome, stay healthy. And thank you, Patricia, so much for being with us today.
My pleasure. Stay organic.
Stay organic.